Welcome, everyone, to the Inner Compass weekly show. We're going to call it the weekly show. You guys are the navigators. We're navigating. Let me know where you're tuning in from. I'd love to hear where you're tuning in from. Last week, we had, I think, like 3 or 4 people from the East Coast. We had a couple local Alaskans. So it's always fun to see where everyone is tuning in from. We're going to get started. We're going to have an amazing time today. Let's dive right in. So, elevate your inner compass, South Carolina. Woo woo. I went to South Carolina when I was a little kid, and we had family friends that lived there. And we loved the lifestyle of going on the golf carts and going to the beach. We thought it was the coolest thing that they had golf carts that could drive you to the beach. So that was such an incredible experience when I was a kid. So, welcome. Hi from the West Coast, California. We've got both coasts represented today. Thank you for being here. Elevate your inner compass. Last week's discussion made me so excited. I was so high vibe after last week's live. You guys brought such incredible energy, and I'm just really excited to continue that energy this week. So, exciting, fun things are happening on the business forefront. My business Inner Compass Accelerator, Inner Compass Support, I have a monthly membership that has very similar style to what we do every single week here inside of the YouTube Live. We do group EFT tapping, there's guided meditations, there's resources, worksheets to help you with goal setting. And we have workshops every single week. And this week's workshop is all about being sober curious and exploring the lifestyle of being sober curious, saying no to alcohol and yes to alternatives. So that's happening today. And the membership is only $47 a month. We just hit its year anniversary, and we are going to be doing a price increase in May 1st. But if you join today, you get locked in at that monthly price, and that will never change for you once you get locked in at that price. So I really encourage you to join if you're really enjoying the YouTube lives and the format that we do in this setup. You get even more access to that support inside of the membership. So we've got our agenda today. We're going to talk about anxiety relief. We're going to do some Q&A. We'll do some goals, and then we'll do some tapping and end with a guided meditation. So, inspiration for the week, we are going to be talking about anxiety. I'd love to know, how does anxiety show up for you in your life? Sometimes it shows up as body sensations. Sometimes it feels like rapid heart rate. Sometimes it feels tension. Sometimes it feels overwhelming. So just describe to me in the chat how anxiety shows up for you. Sometimes anxiety shows up as racing thoughts or fear. Did I leave the stove on? Did I leave the garage door open? Did I leave my hair straightener on? Yeah. Oh no, your anxiety is high. Thank you for being here. Yes. We will tap on that today because we're going to be tapping on anxiety today. We're going to be releasing the anxiety and letting it go. So, why don't we all just take a deep breath together? And on the exhale, say the word release. What happens with anxiety is we are designed to have anxiety because without anxiety, we would not survive. As a humankind, we wouldn't survive because we'd be so in the flow that we would not prepare for, the really harsh winters or the really hot summers, and we would not be in the state of survival. I can't sit still when my anxiety is high. My anxiety shows up as insomnia. Yeah, I bet your brain is like, right, you've got no distractions, and I'm going to make sure that you can't sleep, and I'm going to keep you awake, and I'm going to make you remember every single detail. Remember when you were in second grade and your teacher said something to you, and then your classmates made fun of you? Yeah, let's think about that at 3 a.m. So anxiety shows up, unfortunately, as a way to keep us safe, but in reality, it just holds us back from going after our goals. And all right, sorry, some of the chat is like frozen, so some of the comments are coming in. Eating, emotional eating, yeah, definitely. Anxiety can cause us to overeat or not eat at all and suppress our appetite. And so when we identify how our anxiety shows up, we know the pinpoint. And feeling stuck and the thing no longer flows. Yeah, exactly. We get stuck in our anxiety and we don't have forward momentum. So, what I would love for you to do is become friends with your anxiety. And I mean, not like the friend that always sugarcoats things. It's like everything is going well. I mean, like the friend that's honest with you. Because if your friend was saying, hey, I'm struggling with XYZ, you would say, oh, here are some solutions. Let me help you out with that. Let's talk it out. Let's work through it. You would probably find a solution. But what's happening with your anxiety is we feel that there are no solutions and there's no way to fix our anxiety. So we bottle it up and we get stuck at the worst part. So, has everyone been to the beach before? And if you've never been to a beach, that's totally okay. But what happens is anxiety is like a wave. And when you see the waves coming in the distance and they get really high, and you're like, wow, that's going to be a huge wave. And then it goes to shore and it kind of was not really a big deal. The same thing is happening with your anxiety, but instead of letting it flow, we get stuck at the worst part of the anxiety because we think that if I feel this anxiety any longer, it's going to get stuck and I won't be able to survive. So we think that the anxiety is going to get worse. So when we're watching the wave, instead of letting the wave ride through, we block it at the worst part of our anxiety. So anxiety is meant to just come on through and keep moving forward, but we get stuck in our anxiety. And when we get stuck in our anxiety, our body doesn't know how to handle our goals because it thinks if I add any more to my plate, that anxiety is going to take over. So we get to become friends with our anxiety. So the next time, everyone in the chat, I'm so proud of you. You shared how your anxiety shows up. Okay, so next time your friend would show up with a problem, you would probably give them solutions. I want you to try to do that with your anxiety over the next 7 days. So when your anxiety shows up, I would say, okay, anxiety, Mr. Friend, Mrs. Friend, how can you teach me a lesson that I can help you with today? And we get to work through our anxiety as a friend versus an enemy. We're not at odds with anxiety. Anxiety gets to be our biggest teacher because it tells us what we need to work on in order to improve our life. But again, when we watch the wave, it gets stuck. Okay, so tips to become friends with your anxiety. First tip is as soon as you notice your anxiety, acknowledge it. Say, thank you, anxiety, for showing up. What do you need me to know? So that's step one, acknowledge that you have it. So often we don't want to name it as anxiety. We want to say, oh, it's just stress, or I'm just overwhelmed, or I'm just frustrated. No, you're experiencing anxiety. Name it so we can start to tame it. So step one, name your anxiety. Step two, ask yourself, what is triggering or influencing me to feel anxiety in the moment? Is it something in the future that you're worried about? Is it something that already happened in the past and you're feeling anxious about how it's going to turn out? Dig. It's kind of like the Tiana song. If you got any Disney fans out there, we got to dig a little deeper, find out who you are. Anyways, we got to dig a little deeper and discover what the anxiety is telling us. I love it. Name it to tame it. Yes, exactly. But it's just like everywhere around us, and we don't want to act like it's not there. Oh, you live close to Hilton Head. Oh, I've barely been out of Tennessee. Well, Tennessee is amazing. Same. I love that. Yeah. Let's name it. And when we name it, I can guarantee it's going to start to shift your relationship with anxiety because now we're going to take it head on. So step one, name it to tame it. Step two, ask your anxiety, what is it trying to do? What is it trying to teach you? Is it trying to teach you that you've got too much on your plate? Is it trying to teach you that you're sweating the small stuff? Like, what is your anxiety trying to teach you? And step three, you probably already know the answer, but when in doubt, tap it out. And you can just do a light round of tapping of, I acknowledge that my anxiety is here. I acknowledge my anxiety is a friend. I know that my anxiety is trying to teach me something, and I'm open to learning, right? You could just name all of those thoughts. My family loves Tiana. Yeah, it's such a great one. The songs in that movie are very inspirational. Like the main one, I'm almost there. We're so close to achieving our goals. We are so close to getting there. So those are the 3 steps that I help people navigate their anxiety. First, name it. Second, get curious about it, become its friend. Step 3 is tap it out. We don't need to hold on to the anxiety longer than 5 minutes to know that we're anxious. So, against popular opinion, I don't believe we need to sit with our anxiety in order to know it's real. Man, we already know it's real. We already know the feelings, the symptoms, the outcomes. We just need to name it and let it ride like the wave. So, any thoughts on anxiety? Any questions you have about anxiety or any questions that you wanted to explore this week? And I'll play some music. Amazing question. Why does anxiety lead to depression? Anxiety leads to depression because what happens is let's say, for example, our anxiety is up here and it requires a lot of energy to be anxious, right? Changes our breathing, changes our heart rate. And what happens is we get so exhausted that we crash. And when we crash, we get depressed, disconnected, numb. We can't feel our feelings. And when we don't treat our anxiety, it leads to depression because the mind and body and soul are so exhausted from holding all of that anxious energy that the only way is to just numb out, check out, no motivation, and it goes right to depression. So medications can be really helpful, or they just a Band-Aid. Obviously, I'm not a medical provider. This is not medical information, but there's 2 types of anxiety meds. There's instant relief, the kind that you take in the moment if you're experiencing anxiety, and then there's the long form medication, like you take a dose every single day to help treat your anxiety. And what happens is with anxiety meds, it connects the different receptors, kind of help you navigate so that way you can use your coping skills to bring your anxiety down even more. Plenty of people that I work with, and if you want to set up a one-on-one, we can do that and I can help you through that anxiety. But I have helped my clients get rid of that day-to-day anxiety, and so now they just have situational anxiety, which we cannot get rid of. Situational anxiety is I'm driving down the road and someone comes and cuts me off, right? I'm going to feel anxiety. We can't get rid of that kind of anxiety because that's a part of our DNA. But great questions. So let me know, how did your goals go from the last 7 days? Were you able to achieve the goals that you guys set last Tuesday? Were you able to be successful with your goals? Tell me what happened with them. I'm going to play some music so we can hear how your goals went. I have anxiety about the playoffs coming up. Yeah, what happens if your team doesn't win? No, just kidding. But yeah, situational anxiety, right? Anxiety that's out of our control. But we can do 3 things with that, right? Name it, ask it what's happening, and tap through it. So now that you explored your goals from the last 7 days, Now ask yourself, what are your goals for the next 7 days? What are your goals for next week? And then explore what worked for you and what didn't work for you over the last 7 days. What do you need to add, take away, or even modify this next week? And don't worry, I'm going to put this all on one slide for you. And then if you know that there's something stressful coming up, like taxes, that might be a stressful stressful experience. How can you make a plan to overcome those? So I'm going to put some music on. These are all the questions I went over. So get some pen and paper out and let's journal your goals for the next 7 days. What didn't work well? What worked? What do you need to add, modify, or take away? And then create a plan to overcome any challenges. Goals went great. I think I got a rhythm. Yes, celebrate. Do, 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 do. And if you guys haven't followed her channel, definitely go give her a subscribe. She is killing it with content creation. We're used to the Grizzlies losing, so nothing is different. But yeah, still you want your team to do well. I made my kids make their own lunches this week so I could have extra time for personal stuff in the morning. That is incredible. That's going to teach your kids independence, and that's going to teach them that value of importance of morning time and way to prioritize yourself. That is incredible. You guys are crushing it with your goals. I also started listening to an audiobook this week rather than a movie podcast. Wow, you are crushing it. Way to stay consistent. Now I need to ride that wave and learn from the failure, but really need to block time. Yeah, we don't experience failures as setbacks. Think of failures as more information on how to do things differently in the future. Thank you, Brock, for tuning in. And yes, you can catch the replay, of course. We are tapping today. We're tapping every Tuesday. You guys know I love to tap. And if you haven't checked out the podcast, this week's episode is going to be all about tapping. And then next Monday, I'm going to be uploading an EFT tapping video. So that way you can hit play whenever you need extra tapping. It'll probably be EFT tapping on anxiety. So definitely you'll have to check that out. Loved your podcast. Love to multitask so I can get things done. Thank you so much for loving the podcast. Because I definitely need to get it after the Google reset my password to 666. Yeah, that should not be allowed. That should definitely not be an option to reset the password. All right, let's start tapping. I'm going to make my face a little bit bigger so we can see. I want you to just kind of move your body. I listen to your podcast too. Thank you so much, Marco. That is so kind. Thank you guys for supporting me. Let's get into a comfortable position. Let's start breathing. Focusing on your inhales. All right. So I want you to close your eyes and ask yourself, where do you feel your anxiety physically? Maybe you feel it in your head, your chest, your throat, your stomach, your shoulders. There's no right or wrong answer. Just where do you feel this physically in your body? And as you are feeling that in your body, start tapping and repeat after me. All of this anxiety in my body, it's safe to release and let it go. Side of the eye. All of this tension in my chest and my neck, it's safe to set it free. All of this anxiety in my hips, I'm ready for it to dissolve disappear and fade away under your eye. I don't need this anxiety because I'm safe. I can handle any challenges that life throws at me. I don't need the anxiety to hold me back. Collarbone. And when I think about my anxiety, I'm going to remind my brain it's safe to release this tension, but I'm going to keep the wisdom to go after my goals, and the wisdom to nurture my plans. I can do this. Take a deep breath and squeeze your wrist. Release and let it go. Amazing. So we're going to start some butterfly tapping. I'm going to get in frame and just start focusing on inhaling and exhaling. And this, again, is going to allow your brain to shuffle any unprocessed emotions or feelings in the body. So let's just start breathing in. Hold it at the top. Exhale. Beautiful. Let's do another round. Beautiful. Incredible. Let's do one last round. We'll keep tapping. Amazing. Let's just release this and let's start tapping again. And kind of scan your body and notice if anything has shifted. Has the anxiety shifted? Has it decreased, increased? There's no right or wrong way. Just kind of notice what's surfacing and what's coming forward. All right, let's start tapping and let's keep releasing this anxiety. I'm tapping to release this anxiety, but I'm scared it won't go away. What if it comes back? What if it gets worse? Side of the eye. It's safe to release all of these fears. It's safe to release the uncertainty. And it's safe to release the need to control under your eye. My goals are greater than my anxieties. And I'm ready to stand up to my anxiety. I'm ready to be friends and work together. Collarbone. Because maybe, just maybe, my anxiety is trying to help me, but I've been focused on how my anxiety is hurting me. Take a deep breath and squeeze your wrist. Release and let it go, and remind yourself we squeeze our wrist just because sometimes when we tap, we can kind of get a little bit fluttery, or maybe like a little bit not grounded. We can kind of feel floaty. So we just squeeze our wrist to kind of bring us back to our body. So this last round, we're going to do some positive affirmations on feeling safe to say goodbye to your anxiety so you can embrace and make room for so much abundance, because abundance is your birthright. Abundance is everywhere. Think about oxygen. We have an abundant supply of oxygen. We're not trying to store it because we know it's always going to be there. The same thing with our goals. We have so much opportunities to go after our goals. We have to release the control and set it free to make room for that space. So I want you to close your eyes and focus on the goal that you've identified for the next 7 days. And start feeling that goal, kind of getting excited, and start tapping and repeat after me. I'm ready to achieve my goals this week. And I'm ready to release my anxiety that's stopping me. Side of the eye. The better it gets, the better it gets. The best is yet to come under your eye. And if my anxiety surfaces, I'm going to say, thank you, anxiety, but you can leave now. And I'm going to focus on all of the ways I'm in control. Because what is desired by me is destined for me. Collarbone. I'm ready to install confidence, encouragement, and excitement. It gets to be fun, easy, and I'm ready to celebrate my goals next week. And I deeply and completely love and honor myself. Take a deep breath and squeeze your wrist. Release and let it go. Now close your eyes and just feel that sensation in your body, that shift of energy, that positive rush that you just created with your own mind, body, and soul. And let that soak in. Beautiful, incredible. Let me know in the chat how you're feeling. How do you turn your mind off at night? My thoughts race all night and I have anxiety. I actually have a YouTube you can check out on sleep. And I think I give like 8 tips on how to work through anxiety in the middle of the night. So whether you're trying to fall asleep or stay asleep. So definitely check that out on my YouTube channel. And that will be a really great resource for you. Just had a big yawn. I guess I'm relaxed now. Fun, interesting tidbit about EFT tapping. So EFT tapping is all about emotional freedom technique. We're releasing the emotions that our body is storing. And a way that we release emotions is through yawning. So sometimes people are like, oh my gosh, I'm yawning. I'm not tired, I swear. And it's like, no, that's such a good thing. So if you're yawning, that is a sign that your body is releasing. It's shifting the energy. Chef's kiss. We love to see it. Amazing. Let's start the guided meditation. So let's get comfortable and start focusing on your breath. I always get energized. Yes, I love it. Tapping is so incredible. I want you to visualize your goals in the palm of your hand. And I want you to visualize you achieving your goal on a postcard. If we were to take a snapshot of you achieving your goal and we were to put it on a postcard, what image would that be? Would it be you smiling? Would it be a photo with your family, with your loved ones? Would it be you putting your fists in the air saying, yes, I did it? I want you to focus on the image of you achieving your goal, and I want you to put it on a postcard. Now I want you to turn the postcard over, and I want you to write a message to send to yourself. Something that you've been needing to hear for so long. Maybe the message says, you did it. I'm proud of you. You went after your goals and you were successful. I'm so glad you never gave up. I want you to write an encouraging message on the back of this postcard. And then I want you to put a stamp on the postcard and I want you to send it to you. And I want you to allow your mind to store this postcard whenever you need encouragement, motivation, or even guidance. Because your future self knows you are capable of achieving this goal. And we have photograph proof that you just achieved it. And remember, whenever you need a boost, access this postcard and pull it out to remind yourself of the image of success, the image that you have just created, and the image that you have identified today. And I want you to pull this postcard close to your heart and soak in all of these amazing feelings, excitement, gratitude, and pure bliss. Because remember, what is desired by you is destined for you. And the better it gets, because the best is yet to come. So now put the postcard somewhere that you can see in your mind. Maybe you pin it on a cork board or put it on your work desk. But allow it to just hang so you can visualize it every single day. And when you're ready, come back to the group and let me know how you're feeling. This is wild. I had a vision postcard since last year. I literally took an actual picture of it today. Oh my, we are connected. That is incredible. My family on a trip to the Bahamas together. That is a beautiful image. And of course, my kids holding up the Stanley Cup trophy since they love hockey. Yes, that is incredible. You are never too old to achieve your goals would be my postcard. Yes, I love that encouraging message. And we get to hold that message and we get to use it because it's our future self sending us that support, which makes it so amazing and so magical. So remember, if you enjoyed today's YouTube live in this format of nurturing your inner compass, this is something we do every single week inside of the membership Inner Compass Support. You can get grandfathered in at $47 a month and enjoy all the benefits of tapping and connection. I'm so grateful that you tuned in to today's YouTube live, and I will catch you next week. Have an amazing week. Hold that vision, hold that postcard in the forefront of your mind, and go after those goals. Bye, everyone.